Fearless Females, Take One, Eden Alpert, and Kelly Stone. Hi, I'm Janet Gunn here at Focus TV, and welcome to our new studios in West Hollywood. So today I'm super honored to be sitting next to two incredible women. They are philanthropists here in Los Angeles, and we are so lucky to have them, Eden Alpert and Kelly Stone. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So this year, big congratulations is in order because you're both being honored at the Concern Foundation for all of your philanthropy work that you do.
Wow, I just got emotional.
I know. I wanted to hug you.
No, I'm not.
We're so excited because together and as good friends, it's really exciting.
Yeah, so when they first told you we want to honor both of you, what did that feel like?
Can I say?
Yeah.
You want to say something?
No, you go.
I got a phone call from my cousin Derek, who's the president of Concern for, I think, over 15 years now, but he's been with them for over 40. And he said, "Do you have anyone in mind that would be perfect to honor this year at Concern?" And I said, "Let me think about that." And then I texted him immediately, and I said, sorry, I got a little teary-eyed. I said, "Yes, my friend Kelly Stone Singer and her husband Bruce, they're incredible. This is what they do." And I listed all the nonprofits that they work with and a little bit of Kelly's story, which I'll let Kelly say. And he said, "That's a great idea." He researched them a little bit, and then I think he called you.
Yes.
And then Kelly, I think, asked, I don't know what Kelly said.
Well, Derek is amazing, and he's Eden's cousin, so you can imagine.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful guy. And he called and asked us, and at first we were like, why would we be honored? You know, and my husband and I together, though, which is really exciting because I couldn't do the things that I do without my husband. And I started my own nonprofit along with my sister Sharon 25 years ago. And I had to leave about 12 years ago when I was diagnosed with lupus. So that has been taken on by volunteers and new people, but to be able to witness watching it grow and to be able to once in a while throw in a suggestion is amazing. We help homeless and abused children and children that are ill, at risk. They do a tutoring program, they do prom dresses, they do 15,000 toys at Christmas. So it's an amazing program. But for the last 10 or 12 years, I had to really focus on my health. Mm-hmm. And when I was diagnosed with lupus, that really had to be my mission to deal with that. And it took a lot of things away from me all at once, you know, first my career and then, you know, other things that just happened, like that seem small, but like the zero ability to be in the sun and everything that goes along with that. So I've spent a lot of time in this past 10 years really, you know, trying to see how I can suggest or invite more people to lupus and how that works out. And I love the thing about Concern because Concern shares their research. And a big part of their research is obviously autoimmune and immune diseases, which cancer is.
Well, there's so many organizations out there that give back. And I think that what you just spoke about, that makes the Concern Foundation and Planet Hope stand out so much, you know, with everything that you do with the kids.
Yes.
Yeah. So could you share a couple of success stories from Planet Hope and the Concern Foundation?
Well, I'll tell you a Planet Hope story that is amazing. Is that when, I guess it was maybe 2 years ago, when I had just taken a really tough turn with my health, and I had to start chemotherapy to reset my immune system. And each week I did a very intense chemotherapy, and I was there for 6 weeks. And each week when I would come in, I would see this woman across the room, but I didn't really know who she was. She never approached me, and the chemo was pretty intense, so I didn't say anything to anyone because I felt like, am I hallucinating? Like, who is this woman? And it went on, and I never asked. But I said things to my friends like, do you know that woman? I feel like I know her. So on the last day of my chemo, she sat down next to me and held a picture up of her and her son on her cell phone. And she said, I was at Planet Hope 16 years ago. And you told me to get my life together. I am an RN. My son is just graduating college. And every Sunday, my family holds hands and we thank God for you. And she said, when I saw my name when I saw your name on the chemo schedule, she said, I was brokenhearted because I felt like, why did you have to, why were you going through this? And she said, but I wanted to give you your privacy during this time. And so, I mean, that's a great example of coming full circle.
So how did you get started, both of you? What do you think drove both of you to be so dedicated, so passionate? Because I really think to be, philanthropic on your level, the way you are, because you're just driven by it from what I've read about both of you. So what was the instigation? What started the journey?
I think for me, mine's so different, and I look up to Kelly. When someone's ill and they're still giving back, and you never see that they're not feeling well, and they just kind of suck it up, and you don't have to do that because we're all going to hold on to you. Kelly just inspires me, but what inspired me from a very young age was my father taking me to the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus with children from the hospitals that were burned on 90% of their body and very ill, some terminally ill, very young, telling me this is what we do. We give back and this is what we can do. And so at a young age, I was seeing very traumatic things, but it felt so good to watch them smile and see the happiness they had for that couple hours that they were seeing the circus. And then my dad's such a big philanthropist, and I watch what he does, and they're wonderful, and they'll do walkthroughs, and I'm sure they do a lot of hands-on. For me, being a part of and getting into the wrapping or seeing children in the hospital and throwing a little event for them and their whole family just because one child's sick. By the way, all of them are affected because some of them got left out in the back. Anything that moves me, I will support.
Yeah.
And some people have one focus, and sometimes I get a little.
You must be moved a
overwhelmed.
lot.
I get very sensitive. Can you tell? I cry very.
Well, wait, you have a couple. Could you share with us the other charities you're involved in?
Vista Del Mar, which is a wonderful nonprofit here in LA that's been around, I think, over 70 years off motor, and it's for families and children that are fostered basically through the system now. And I don't really ever share this publicly, but I'm adopted at birth, and I was adopted through there. And so that my Aunt Mimi has always been a part of that. And so I used to go and do little Christmas parties with all those children. And of course, I had a crush on every boy there. And they were the bad boys. And I just loved the kids. And now I'm working with them a lot. And then Concern, I've been a part of my whole life because of my cousin, Derek Alpert, who's incredibly, he's just another angel. He just, that's what makes him happy. It makes him feel alive. He just wants to give back. And everything in his life is concerned.
She's doing so many
Animals.
things. I've talked to her, and then I look at her Instagram, and I'm like, you're at a charity lunch right now. You're at a dinner. What's happening at the restaurant? So it's nice, in our age, hopefully in life, and when we have success in our own lives, we want to give back. And when you have that mutual respect and passion with your friend, it's amazing.
I had the pleasure of having been seated next to both of you at a dinner last week of a mutual friend of ours. And when I left there, because I have met you, briefly, but I never really got to talk to you.
Right.
And I left there and I was driving home and I thought, oh my God, those women you're incredible. Like you shoot from your heart. You speak from your heart. You were very inclusive. You were kind. You were gracious, and I just think that that's such a beautiful quality, and that's what I drove home feeling, very
thank
very
you.
happy to be able to speak to both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That was
you.
that was a great evening.
It was a great
and
evening.
that was an evening that was in honor of our mutual friend, Marta Bloom, who was being honored along with Ron for their incredible dedication to philanthropy in general, but specifically to Lupus LA.
Yeah.
And they launched an amazing campaign that night called Loop Us that will be in airports, and it's the OK sign, Loop Us.
That's fantastic.
And my sister came up with that.
They were having secret jewelry around that, so that we are in a shirt. Because I love that Loop Us. We're all looped together, but a loop together. That was very creative.
So the three of them were having meetings, Ron and Sharon and my sister, and I had no idea what was going on, and they did this amazing piece. So I feel like, again, there's another friend who's so involved with philanthropy, and they're involved in so many things. And every person at that table is involved in some way. And that dinner was being thrown for Marta by Marla Paxson, who's also super philanthropic. Her husband was the founder of Home Shopping Network, her late husband. And it was just a great vibe that night. So I agree. And I think the thing that I wanted to say, and I wanted to ask you more about, is concern. Their story is incredible. My husband and I, one of the things when we agreed to be honored is we said we would like to invite your board to our house so they can meet us. And we just would like them to see, know a little bit about us and have it simple, and they'll come over for a few hours. The most lovely people, but the story about concern is insane. Did it start in 1968?
Yeah. Yes,
1968 by like 5 friends. A friend of theirs was dying from cancer, and she wasn't coming out of her room. And they said, her girlfriend said to her, and they're all in their 20s. I mean, that's 46 years ago.
Yeah.
And they said, you have to get involved. We have to do something. We have to fight cancer. And they started out doing like dollar movies and all these things. And I don't know how many of the board members were there, but 4 of them are still living, and maybe 90.
Yeah, they came over.
And they're so cute, but they're still doing it. And in the night that we're being honored, in one night, they raised $2 million.
Wow.
One night.
And 95% of their profit, what they take in goes towards the charity, which
they
is
have a 5% overhead that they operate.
It's unheard of.
I mean, it's so cool. And I thank you, because I thank you for thinking of Bruce and I, because what I might have skipped over is that my husband, I couldn't do the things I do if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
And once when I met him, he knew that was going to be part of it. 16 years ago, like, we were going to go to camp, Planet Hope, and we were going to do this, we were going to do that, and give sleeping bags and collect clothes, and our garage would never belong to him, and a car couldn't park in there because it would always be full of things. And then the same when I got so sick, my husband is the person that's there next to me every night when I'm crying and in pain, and he's a wonderful guy. And he's been on worked with Cedars-Sinai, he's worked with his own huge list of charities. So it was wonderful that I was able to marry someone that is so kind.
Well, we'll have all of the links to your sites, to Planet Hope, to
Thank you.
the Concern Foundation, anything that you want
Lupus
to give.
LA.
Lupus LA, right? And Lupus.
Lupus.
I love that.
How do you do it?
So,
The OK sign.
okay.
Loop Us.
Loop Us.
All right. So I'm happy to be part of that tribe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Really,
And I
really
love
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah, thank you for what you do. We are lucky to have both of you.
Thank you.
And your husband, Bruce.
Thank you. And Bruce Singer is an amazing guy.
I love it.
Love you, Bruce.
Thanks, Bruce.